Coach German, glad to have you. Excited to be releasing the 2021 Cleveland State lacrosse schedule. What does that sound like to you? And music to your ears, I'm sure. Just that there is lacrosse in the very near future here at Cleveland State.
Yeah, and thanks for having me, Spence. It's the best, right? It's just an opportunity to go out and compete, and for anybody that obviously was here last year and a part of that, or even our freshmen who had their senior years, the rug pulled out from under them. The opportunity to get out and compete again is the best thing in the world right now. And so, for us to get going, in about 10 days, against Marquette, obviously this weekend as well against Walsh, it's exciting. It really is. It's a long time coming, but it's here, and you can kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel now.
Absolutely. And certainly in fall ball, I know it might have been, you weren't sure what the spring was going to look like. Fall certainly didn't look the same as a normal fall here, or I think around the country even. How does that different fall, what kind of impact do you think that's going to have here now that we're actually playing real games in the spring?
Yeah, it'll manifest itself in different ways, probably in terms of some of the situational stuff. We were, small groups and no contact in the fall, and as we went along, the guys just totally bought into it, and I really appreciated, their efforts. There are certainly times it can get a bit monotonous, and if your small group didn't have a goalie and you were a shooter, then you didn't shoot on a goalie all fall. And so, yeah, there'll definitely be some things that come up, but the fall was awesome in terms of we just got better, and it was a ton of skill development. Just you could do different stuff offensively, defensively, conceptual stuff, and so we just got better. And sometimes in what is perceived to be a normal fall, right? You rush to get stuff in, right? You want to do your riding, your clearing, your settled offense, all that kind of stuff. That there are times that maybe the other stuff, the skill development, takes a back seat. And I think what we learned is the skill development's as important as anything. And it'll be a good reminder as we head into next fall. Hey, the X's and O's can wait. Let's just get better. And so wasn't all bad. Wasn't all bad.
Absolutely. Taking a look at the schedule this season, you guys obviously, like everyone else, was shortened season last year, but I think you get four of the teams on this year's schedule you did play last year, and even some of the other ones that maybe got canceled last year, you played the year before. A lot of familiarity, I think for the most part with the teams on this year's schedule. Just talk about some of those matchups and some of the games. I mean, you've had Marquette twice and, beat them in a close game at their place and then lost a heartbreaker at home. Just some of those teams you're getting some familiarity with now.
Yeah, it's great, right? Those rivalries that manifest over, when you play teams year after year, like a Marquette, right? They got us in the opener last year. We got them the year before. And so to see them in, I don't want to say the rubber match, because hopefully it's something we can continue doing. It's huge, right? And our guys know how talented a team like Marquette is, and we'll have our hands full, with those guys. And then down the road, Mercer, gave it to us last year, and it was the opposite the year before down at their place. And so again, some of that familiarity and continuity in terms of not just the teams, but in certain matchups, and guys see each other year in year out. It's really good. And then obviously our last home game last year was against Bellarmine, and I thought we played well and beat those guys in a close game. And so all of it is really, really positive, and obviously looking forward to it. But anytime you can play a team year over year, it's great, right? Notre Dame gave it to us pretty good last year, and so I know our guys will be up for that one. And we played Utah a couple of years ago at their place, and we didn't get a chance last year. But those guys coming to town, I'm sure they've improved. Obviously, you saw this weekend, and so it's really good. I'm really excited. I know our guys are excited. Anytime they can get an opportunity to compete, it's a positive. But yeah, some of these matchups with the familiarity just adds a little bit more to it.
And another thing that's unique, well, a thing that's unique to this year, certainly, and you guys are doing it and some other schools are doing it, you're going to play the same team twice, hopefully at least, right? A month apart or a couple of weeks apart, and just obviously because of the pandemic and the situation, but that's going to be a little different. Have you thought about that yet? I mean, you're going to be playing this team in another month. Like, do you show your whole deck of cards? Like, how do you coach that, or have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I wish my deck was that full that I could do that. But no, I think look, you this is unique to lacrosse, but I don't think it's unique to college athletics, right? You look at hockey teams, right? They travel, they play 2 in a weekend. College basketball, a lot of their schedules are home and homes, and then they play again in the conference tournament, and then maybe the NCAA tournament. So you can have college basketball teams play 3, maybe 4 times in a year, and so this is new for lacrosse, and maybe it's something that's trending towards something that'll happen more in the future. But it's great, and I know we're playing Bellarmine in March, and then in and then in April, and between those 5-6 weeks, right, it's a whole different ball game, right? It's a whole different team that you're going to be seeing, and so it's not the back to back like like our basketball team is doing, where obviously there's some strategy there when you're playing 2 in a weekend against the same team, and maybe your sub patterns are different, or you're trying to save some legs, or whatever it is. For us, with the games being as spread apart as they are, I just look at it, right? It's that game in its own little world, and we'll think about the next one down the road. But yeah, maybe it's something that becomes the norm in our sport. I know it's the norm in other sports, and maybe it's something that we do more in the future here.
And as you were just alluding to a little bit, no backs to back. Certainly, I think you guys and a lot of folks, the schedule will be spread out. You're not doing a quick turnaround. So I guess that means the guys will always be fresh, right, Coach? Always ready to go. No excuses on their part.
In theory, yeah, in theory, they should be ready to go. They should be amped up, right? We'll have some time in between, to prepare, but really just focus on us. Just a ton of focus on us and what we need to do to get better and to be as prepared as we can on game day. But yeah, it's just kind of the unique way that things are playing out, and I think I'm sure our older guys will appreciate the extra days, and our younger guys will be chomping at the bit. But that's a good mix to have.